Hi, this is Will with My Spiritual Clarity, and I'm sitting in my childhood home. It's the Labor Day weekend. I'm technically off, but I've had this client on my mind that emailed me a little bit ago with some updates. It's a new client, and I'm making this video because there's so many healers and coaches and therapists, but more so healers that have emailed me with something very similar to this, or we've covered it in early sessions. And I want to share this with you so that you can have more reassurance as you're developing your confidence as a healer. So I'm going to go through point by point. This will be a slightly longer video. It's kind of like a case study. And I'm going to share with you where this client's at and exactly what I'm going to do with this client next. So you can have a sense of if you're stuck not generating leads on social media, you don't have a clear marketing or content plan, you don't have a clear connection plan, and you feel like you're floundering a little bit, that you're trying everything but nothing's really working, this video is for you. So let's dive in. So this client and I have done, we did a free session together, my initial free Clear What's in the Way session. He had some nice shifts from that, so he signed up for a series of sessions. We had one more session together where we got into belief clearing more specifically and a bit of strategy, and I'm going to go into that more here. So a few of the highlights of what this client shared with me. They've been posting on Instagram, but that stopped being enjoyable. It wasn't fun for this person to get their message into 50-second sound bites, is what they shared. Since the last call, they got into YouTube, posted some videos there that felt a bit better, a bit more natural, converted one into a blog post using an AI software, been sharing those videos on LinkedIn. So far, no direct leads from my Instagram or YouTube, though I've received a bit of encouraging feedback. Updated my website, and then there's a whole section about leads where there's one lead that almost worked out but it fell through. Focusing on building a network with other therapists because that's in his niche, but none of that's working out either. And so basically, he's stuck. He doesn't know what to do next, and he's wondering, in our next session, can we get into specific strategy? Now, I will with this client get into specific strategy. However, that's not the most important thing. And for you as well, if that sounds like you've been using social media or email, you've been maybe connecting with a few people, but mostly using social media and content, here's my big thing that I want you to take away. Content doesn't do much in your early days. And I count myself in that, and I've been at this for 10 years. Early days in terms of how good are you at messaging and copywriting and marketing and online. Some of us are great promoters, not me. Some of us are great marketers. I'm decent. Others of us have different ways that we go about it. I do way better with connection, like real person to person connection time. So that's what I focus on. So for you watching this, if you've had this pressure for your content to perform as in terms of generating leads, that is a far downstream outcome from content. The more likely outcomes from content, the first one that you can guarantee to get every single time, which is fully within your locus of control, is, am I developing my point of view and what makes my work and myself unique in my industry? All of your content can do that. So me making this video right now can do that. I do casual, direct to camera, no edits videos. And that's what I've been practicing and honing. And I go specifically into do this, don't do this for business strategy for healers. The other thing that makes me really unique is where we're going to get to this video is I want you to focus on shifting beliefs. That's going to pay off far more in the long term than any specific strategy will on social media. Social media is loud. There's a lot of stuff, and you've heard that before. There's a lot of stuff going on. So for all of us newer content creators who don't have 100,000 followers, every bit of content we do is like flicking. It's like a mouse flicking an elephant. And then we wonder, why am I not getting the elephant's attention? Well, because you're a mouse and you're flicking an elephant. It's not going to go anywhere. So the first thing that you can do with every piece of content is develop your own point of view so that as you connect with clients, potential clients and potential connectors, hubs, people that can connect with other people, that you've got a crystal clear, dialed in point of view. What makes you different? What makes you unique and special so that when you share, people go, oh, I think I have a friend who's struggling with that because it's now specific and clear. So that's the very first thing that I want you to reframe and focus on when you're making content in the early days is get out of the trap of going for leads. It's a far down. It's like asking for marriage on a first on a not a first date, on a first encounter. You just meet someone at a bar, and like you ask 100 people of the same or opposite sex, whatever way you swing. You ask 100 people, do they want to get married, and no one says yes. You go, well, this doesn't work. Well, yeah, it does, but you got to start with a relationship. You got to start developing the connection. So shift your content into developing your point of view. Shift it out of content and into context. This is some language I just got from my guy Tad Hargrave at Marketing for Hippies. Stop creating content, start weaving context. And you could look up his recent video on that. Okay, as I promised, this is a longer video, so on to the next part. Learnings and updates. So this client shares the 2 beliefs that he and I focused on shifting in our first session, and that's been making a difference. He's feeling better, feeling different. Now, that's what and then he goes on in the last part to say, I want to book my next session, but I'm not clear on the agenda and what tactics to pursue. So I'm hoping you can tell me what to do. And it's understandable. I have the same thing come up. I'm launching my program, The Confident Healer, and I'm brainstorming on strategies to help invite and attract the right people and fill that program. And I get to the same thing of like, but what specifically am I doing? And I have to remind myself, and that's why I'm making this video, is both for this client, for all of you watching, and for myself. Strategy is nothing if you are not energetically clear. Let me say that again. Strategy is nothing if you are not energetically clear. So what do? Well, you create content and then you see what that brings up in you. What are the beliefs? No one's going to see this anyways. What's the point? No one shows up for me. There's not enough clients. Not enough people. No one likes me. Whatever the beliefs are. And that's why making content is great. And even better, actually reaching out to specific people to share that content. That's a strategy. And then you see what are the beliefs that come up. Because as you shift those beliefs, now magic can happen. Now you are wide open to receiving the results that you want from any and every direction. So that's the big takeaway of this video. Strategy, 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 sure. But if you are not energetically clear, then the magic can't show up. That's why there are people, that's my opinion, that's why there are people that we see, other coaches, healers, therapists, and their strategy sucks. Like, they went out, they went to a networking party, they magically connected with 2 or 3 referral partners who magically filled their practice, and they've been good ever since. And those people sometimes drive me a little nuts. I have a friend who's a therapist that's just like that. She said, one day I just decided I wouldn't do any more marketing. I'd just focus on helping my clients get great results. And my practice has been full ever since. Now, I can't wait to sit this person down and find out what are the strategies they did, because they guaranteed did specific strategies. But what really changed was their mindset. It was their energy about it. It's who they were being. As they got energetically clear, now any strategy could work. So, am I saying don't do strategy? No, you got to do strategy. You got to put yourself out there in different ways that feel good for you. But what I really want you to focus on is getting energetically clear. Because when you get energetically clear, now any strategy can work. So how do you do that? Well, I mentioned the first part already. You create content and you see what that brings up in you as you begin to share it or try or think to share it. The second one is that as you create content, every single time you create a piece of content, share it with someone specific. Someone from your list of people that you want to build relationships with, someone that you already have a relationship with, past clients if you have any, or colleagues that you're already connected with, people that you already know. Share it with someone specific. Ask for feedback. Ask for them to share it if that's appropriate. Ask for whatever you're going to ask for, but connect. Every time you create something, connect. And now you're building your network, your connection network in a healthy way. As you do all that, it's going to bring up beliefs. It's going to bring up stuff. And that's the gold. That's what you really want to focus on. As you shift those beliefs, you become energetically clear, and now any strategy can work. and you'll be more free to decide which strategy is fun and actually feels good for you. So if you'd like my help in either identifying those strategies, yes, but those beliefs specifically, more specifically, because often the specific wording and language helps, or if you'd like my help in shifting and clearing those, getting out of those, I'd love to see you for one of my free sessions. So it's a free 25-minute clear what's in the way energy healing sessions. I'll put the link below. I'd love to see you for one of those. And I've also got a program coming up, The Confident Healer. And in that program, I'm going to help you to fully own your expertise, to cross that first bridge of confidence and competence. Know that you can really do this. Know that you're a healer and a professional, and never look back. So I'd love to see you for a free session. And yeah, have an amazing day and good luck with your healing practice. Bye-bye for now.